Welcome back to another episode of Dynamic Diecasters, where this week we're going to continue our Ghostbusters Ecto-1 build. This episode will be issue 14. So when we come back, we'll go ahead and get started on that. See you in a few. Welcome back. Like I said before the break, we're going to be working on issue 14 this week, and that's stages 47 to 50. I don't know how long this one will take actually, because it looks like it'll vary, but it's all related to the seats in this section and the rear workstation. But so in stage 47, we received the next parts for the front bench of the Ecto-1. In stage 48, we received it says constituent parts of the driver and passenger seat backs. So again, related to the seats, it's basically the first stage, 47, is the bottom part of the seat. The stage 48 is the back part of the seat. And then stage 49 is the rear workstation, or parts of it, of the driver's side rear workstation. And then stage 50 is parts for building the jump seat that attaches to the driver's side rear station. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with stage 47. This one may not take very long, though there are a lot of screws, but just to cut, there's only like 3 or 4 pieces in this section. So with that, go ahead and take these out. So first we've got the front seat, which I honestly did not expect it to actually feel like a seat, but it actually is like rubber. And it's got like padding in here. So that's and then inside there's the front seat sponge. It's already actually inside here, which I'm not gonna move it because that might be where it goes. And then we've got the front seat inner, which is this piece right here. Then we've got 2 front seat base brackets. We got 4 AP screws, 8 IP screws, and 11 MP screws. With that, we'll go ahead and get started on stage 47, and I'll show you what we did when we get back. See you in a few minutes. And with that was stage 47. So in stage 47, basically we attached the bottom part of the seat to the seat section from the last episode. So if you remember in the last episode, we installed the brackets on the back of the seat. Now we actually put the bottom part of the seat on, and we attached the brackets down here underneath. So that's basically what we did in stage 47. There's a sponge underneath here, and we attached the inner part of the seat in here also. Anyways, so with that, we'll go ahead and move on to stage 48, which is basically the top part of the seats that I just showed you. It's just the top section of them. So there's going to be pretty much 4, or 2 of the same, just smaller versions of that bottom section that we did last time. we've got the front left seat back base. Then we've got the, let's see which one's which here. Yeah, this one has an L stamped on it, so this will be the front left inner seat back inner. Then we've got a seat back sponge, and we've got the front left, and it's stamped with an L too. So this will be the front left seat back. And then we've got the side of the left one right here. It's also stamped with an L, so that's the front left seat back side. Then we've got the front, and we'll go back in order here. We've got the front right seat back base here. Then we've got the front right seat back inner. Then we've got the sponge, and then the front right seat back. And then we've got the front right seat back side. And then lastly, we've got screws. So we've got 20 AP screws, 4 DP screws, 4 LP screws, and then 12 MP screws. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started on stage 48, and I'll show you what we did when we complete that. See you in a few minutes. And that's the end of stage 48. So basically, like I was stating before we started, we were gonna assemble the left and front seat backs, and but what I didn't know is that we were gonna attach it to the assembly and then attach it inside the inner section that we did not carpet yet. So as you can see, I installed it, but just so you guys know, in a future episode, when I receive the mods for like the carpet and items like that, I'm gonna have a whole episode in reference to that particular set of modifications. So I'll have some for the caps for the wheels. I'll also have the carpets, and then the hood vents for the if you remember back in stage 1 of the build where we put the vents on the hood, well, I'm going to replace those. So look forward to a future episode. I carpet this, and then I'll just put these back on it. But that's through stage 48 what the build looks like. We'll go ahead and move on to stage 49, which I believe is the beginnings of the rear driver's side rear workstation. So this part probably isn't going to take very long, as there's 3 parts and 2 screws. So I may not time lapse this part because it may actually be quick enough for me to actually go through as I'm talking. So we'll see though. So with that being said, we've got the driver's side rear workstation. Then we've got the phone cradle bracket, which I think is not this piece, but it's the piece in this bag. This is the phone cradle bracket. If I can, did they tape it? Oh no, it's just kind of crinkled funny. This is the phone cradle bracket, and then we've got the phone cradle itself, and then 2 EP screws. So yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna just run through this one because we basically installed this bracket onto the rear workstation. and the cradle, and then that's the end of the stage. So we'll take the phone cradle and put it into the right gap on the left side, which there's a slot for it, and there's a little pinhole, so we put it right in that. And then we take one EP screw and we screw that one in. So we'll go ahead and do that. Back here. And there's the bracket installed, and now we take the phone cradle and put it in the slot, which there's a little niche. You can't see it on the camera, but it'll basically it'll allow it to go in one way into the hole, which looks like it's a little, it's interesting. Since this seems slightly off center with the hole, which is kind of funny, because that'll be interesting to see if I can actually get it in there. Maybe that's as far as it goes, I don't know. It doesn't look like it should only go in a little bit though. Oh, maybe that'll help it kind of shift it a little bit. Let's see if that, there we go. Okay. Now it went in the hole, so now I'll go ahead and screw this one into the top hole, and that'll be stage 49. I'll show you the result when yeah. So stage 49, here's the rear workstation, and all we did was actually install the bracket and the phone cradle right there. So with that, we'll move on to the final stage of today's build, and that's stage 50. Stage 50 is parts for the jump seat that'll actually go on that. So my thought is that we'll be building the seat like we did in the rest of the stages today, but then we'll be mounting it to the rear workstation, is my thought, but we'll see. I'll take all the pieces out first, and we'll go through them, and then I'll start the build. So first piece will be the jump seat back base. So these all look familiar. They pretty much assemble the same way as the rest of them. So then we've got two jump seat sponges. We've got a jump seat base, which is one of these. It's probably the thicker one because the base is probably the bottom. Then we've got the jump seat, which is, let's see, hold on. Well, that's the jump seat back, so that's this one. I skipped ahead. Then we've got the jump seat connector, or jump seat base right here. Jeez. Then we've got the jump seat connector, which is this piece. Then we've got the jump seat, which is this piece right here. The jump seat inner, which is this piece right here. Then we've got the jump seat rest support. Then we've got a jump seat footrest. Then we got a bunch of screws. So we've got 2 AP screws, 6 EP screws, 2 HP screws, 2 IP screws, and then 8 MP screws. With that, we'll go ahead and get started on the build, and I'll show you what we did when we finish. See you in a few minutes, and then we'll conclude this episode. And that's it for stage 50. So in stage 50, like I had showed you previously, we were gonna build the jump back seat for that attaches the rear workstation. So we had to basically build up this entire section right here with the bottom, the back, along with the base, and then the fact that you can put it up when you're not using it, but then, you know, it sits flat in the car. So that's what we've done. That's what we did in stage 50. So pretty much we did the front passenger seat and the driver's seat, and then the jump back seat and part of the rear workstation today, where we installed the phone cradle. So with that, that's the end of today's episode. We plan on doing, and this is actually the last box for the Ecto-1 that I've got currently. So we're actually, in the next episode, we're going to start our X-Wing build. So we're going to start building an X-Wing for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you like what you're watching, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell so you get notified when the new episodes come out. Typically, like I have mentioned in previous episodes, they come out every Friday. But anyhow, just so you know, you'll get notified if you hit that bell. So for all of us at the Heart of Geek, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dynamic Diecasters, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good night.